Here is why I want to own 10,000 HBAR before the next bull market. HBAR right now is sitting at 4.5 cents, and I will be continuing to dollar cost average in this one, making sure I am loading up my bags, but not only in this, but all of the other crypto assets I want before the next bull market, because I believe that even though HBAR may go down in the short term, may go back down to 4 cents, I still believe that HBAR is going to have a lot of success in the next months and years to come. So if we take a look at the current price of HBAR, it's sitting at 4.5 cents. Obviously, over the last 7 days, we've seen a bottom around 4.2, and now it's back up to about 4.6 or so. And if we take a look at the all-time chart for HBAR here, this is where I get excited, because we are literally back before everything that happened in 2021 as well as 2022. We can see the prices here are right around this, around 4.5 cents, and we saw back in 2021 this thing hit about 50 cents a token, and in terms of market cap, that was about a $6.5 billion market cap during the last bull market. And right now we can see that the market cap is sitting around 1.4 billion. So with that, if it does go back to about $6.5 billion worth of market cap, you can obviously understand that we're talking about a 5x from this. Now, in terms of the actual circulating supply, that's very important to understand as well. We have about 63% of the circulating supply, or the total supply in circulating supply, which means there's still about 19 billion coins to come in circulation, which also means that there is going to be some inflation left to be had in this ecosystem. But I still do really believe in HBAR, and I do see this price continuing to go up in the years to come. But if we take a look at the network statistics and just what is happening on Hedera hash graphs, what are people doing? Are the transactions going up? Is this even a relevant blockchain? Well, let's take a look at it. So on a daily basis, we can see that per day they're getting about 66 million transactions. Right now they have about 2 million accounts on mainnet, so 2 million wallets on mainnet. And then we have API calls, 459 API calls. Of course, we have the circulating supply of about 31.6 billion and the total supply of 50 billion. But now what I want to bring your attention to is actually this tweet here that Hedera did retweet, and we can talk about the total monthly transactions on Hedera hash graph. Just, is it building, or is it just staying stagnant or falling off? We can take a look at this growing amount of transactions, which is a good sign for this ecosystem, because it means more and more people are using this ecosystem. And ultimately, if that's the case, well, you can understand that if there's more people holding HBAR, more people using HBAR, well, ultimately the price of HBAR goes up. So we can see that in 2023, we've had a crazy amount of growth in terms of transactions on Hashgraph, and this is actually according to Dragonglass. So if we take a look at the actual website and we can play around with the statistics here, so let me zoom in for you guys so you guys can see a bit better. But as you can see here, I'm going to leave links in the description below so you guys can have a look at this. But in total so far, we have about 11.6 billion total transactions on this network. In terms of total accounts, we have about 2.8 million. And if we take a look at these graphs here, you can actually play around with them. So if we go to, let's say, a week, you can see the transaction volume. Now, of course, you have a dip here because I don't necessarily understand when they start their week or when they finish their week. But if we go to a year's time frame, you can see the tremendous amount of growth since the early parts of 2023. Literally transactions going through the roof on HBAR. You may be wondering, why in the world is there a big drop in June? Well, we're only June 19th, so that's probably why the month of June isn't finished, but you do see the growth on the transactions, 715% over the last year in the green. And if you talk about account creation, just the amount of people coming on to HBAR, up about 200% in the last year. And you see in the month of May alone, about 742,000 new accounts created. So obviously, there is a lot of action on HBAR, which is definitely why I would recommend putting it on your watch list. If we just take a look at the transaction volume here, obviously we are still in a bear market, so not as much as the previous months, but you still see the amount of accounts being created and the transactions being done, which is all good signs to me. Now, I also wanted to just share this. Right now, we can see the actual amount of Hedera transactions. As I said, it's around 11.6 billion transactions. And there's also more metrics on this dashboard here, which just kind of goes to show that, yes, we are seeing a growing number of transactions on Hedera and a growing amount of wallets being created. So with that being said, how much is 10,000 HBAR right now? If we take a look at that, again, 4.5 is your price of HBAR. And if we want 10,000 HBAR, nice round even number, if we go ahead, that is $450. So for the sake of doing a comparison, if we look at Cardano's previous bull market run in 2021, this thing hit about $95 billion worth of market cap, which is absolutely insane. So if we just assume that HBAR could do something similar, not necessarily go to 90 billion, because that would still be quite a lot, maybe about a 15x from its previous all-time high. So let's assume HBAR can go to $50 billion of market cap. So if that's the case, and we take a look at what could be the price per token of HBAR, so if we go 50 billion, as I said, there's about 31.6 billion tokens in circulation. We're going to assume that the next bull market is in 2024, 2025. So there may be about 32.5 billion tokens, about an extra billion tokens in circulation by then, maybe even more, but we're just going to go ahead and assume that. So I'm going to divide this by 32.5 billion HBAR tokens, and we can see that this would give us a price of about $1.53 per HBAR. So if that's the case, and if you remember that I want to get 10,000 HBAR, which is roughly $450 right now, if we go ahead and we do the same exercise here to see what would happen if the price of HBAR would actually go to $1.54. So we have 458. This is in Canadian because of course I am Canadian. So maybe it's a bit more around $600 Canadian, because obviously Canadian dollar versus US dollar, not the same. But if that's the case, let's say I put 600 Canadian, which is roughly 450 US. If I do that, and then we hope that Hedera goes to $1.53 in the next bull market with the calculations we've just done, that would essentially mean that I would make about $14.5 thousand. So I'm turning in $600 into $14.5 thousand if that happens. Obviously, I would not be holding all of my bag until $1.53. I would definitely be selling along the way, because profit is profit and you have to take it when you can. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Again, I really do believe HBAR is going to do well in this next bull market. Even if it's a 5x, I think that's still great in terms of profit making. But let me know your thoughts on HBAR. What do you think is going to happen in the next bull market? If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, smash the like button, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.